it going? So got a special guest on the show. Oh, who the fuck am I kidding? It's just Trey from Gear Gods. Trey, how's it going, dude?
It's just me. It's going great. How are you doing, Glenn?
Great. Always happy to have you on the show. Trey has something really interesting to talk about today because this is something that's come up on his show and my show as of late. You guys have been seeing me do the mix reviews every Monday morning. Those are a lot of fun. And there's a common theme between the video I just put out last week, 13 Reasons Why Your Band Is Never Going to Make It, Trey's live show, and my live show. And that is a severe lack of songwriting skills from you guys.
Oh boy, Glenn, it's rough out there. I feel like we opened up Pandora's box, something we've been blinded to this whole time, and now we're faced with the horrible truth, and that's that
great tones don't make great songs.
Yeah, we've been focusing on production and gear and all this stuff, and that's great and it's important, but oh my God, if you don't write a great song, it doesn't matter. You could have the best engineered track in the world, like the kick drum is mwah, and if you don't have a song to go with it, nobody's going to listen to it a second time.
I agree. I mean, this is the thing. You definitely don't need to have great engineering to have success or a great memorable song. I mean, one of my favorite examples of that would be Kingsman doing Louie Louie. That was literally recorded as a demo for them to go work on a cruise ship. It was one mic or something like that. And you can hear the drummer say fuck right after the guitar solo, and the singer comes in at the wrong time. You can hear today. And they stop, and then they come back, and you just see everybody, not now, asshole! But that song, 50 years later, whatnot, everybody still knows it and loves it.
Yeah, and there's one thing that I know absolutely to be true, and that's that if you have a great song, it's very, very difficult to ruin it with bad engineering. But if your song is trash, great, amazing engineering will not save it.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
I mean, start with a great song.
Yeah, if you're just writing a bunch of, as I think you coined the phrase riff salad.
I didn't coin it, okay, but I've been using it a lot. I popularized it, okay. We'll say.
If you're writing a bunch of riff salad and you don't have a fucking song, nobody's going to give a fuck about your band.
Yeah, dudes think that because they can sweep pick or have super heavy songs or tracks, really, riffs, that they have a great band, and they might have something, but if you don't have really killer memorable songs, then of course you're not going to go anywhere. You'll be playing for your super sick riffs for the bartender. People show up for amazing songs. It's every band's number one most important asset by a wide mile.
Right, exactly. Is write something fucking memorable.
Yeah, and what happens is every door will open for you once you get great songs. All the difficult parts of being in a band, all the hard parts of the music industry suddenly get a lot easier.
That's a very good point, because people want to help you sell that shit and make money. Therefore, they're going to jump through the hoops that you otherwise would have to do. So yeah, it does come down to songs. The problem with, I find, especially when it comes to metal, is there's no real resources to learn how to write songs from. I mean, there's the standard, metal formula, verse, chorus, guitar solo, bring it down after the solo, chorus out. I've been playing metal for, way too many years now. And that's as far as I know about as arrangements go. You know what I mean? It's you might have some insights on that. Now, you're a Berklee grad, right? So you might know a thing or two about songwriting?
I did not graduate from Berklee. I went there.
Oh, okay.
Just so everyone's clear, I graduated from Sonoma State with a music degree.
Okay.
Went to Berklee for a year. More than anything else, I've just studied songwriting, which, you ever see that meme with the guy with the sword? It's while you were watching pornography and drinking, I studied the blade. That was me with songwriting while everybody's out trying to get better at sweep picking. And I was studying song structure and composition more than anything else, which is not sexy, but it's definitely more important. And honestly, the thing you described with kind of a basic verse, chorus, verse structure, I wish, after doing this contest, I just wish that more people would have done just that, even though that's super basic and kind of bland. It's better than just this through-composed, endless riff salad that nothing ever repeats, nothing comes back, and it never goes anywhere. Which is more than 60% of what I heard.
Right.
Which is unfortunate. So sure, there's a little bit of a traditional structure going on in a lot of stuff, but if you're not going to do that, you just have to have a really super good reason. And like you're saying, there's not a lot of resources to show people what's possible. So that's why I did this course.
Okay, so what's this course? What are we getting ourselves into? It's like everyone's just going, oh, fuck's sakes, Glenn, what, you're trying to sell me something again? Just to clear the air here, yes, we are. Trey did a course about songwriting, and apparently a lot of you guys desperately need this course.
I did it because people desperately needed it, and not a lot of courses like this exist. It's stuff that I take for granted when I'm writing a song, stuff that I thought that kind of everybody knew, but then this happened and I was like, oh no, people don't know, they just don't know.
Right.
So I was like, all right, let's put something together so that I can show people at least the basics, and then it kind of spiraled out of control until I had this 15-hour course and I cover every single part of writing a song from scratch.
So you started your songwriting contest how long ago? And you were giving away a rev, right?
Yeah, pretty good prize.
How long ago did you start that contest?
So I actually announced the contest at the end of February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, hey, I still haven't given away the prizes to oldies but baddies yet. That's probably going to happen in January when things slow down a little bit. Well, yeah, I finally got through all the entries. Like, we just had
that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah.
I just announced the winner of the contest this past week. So
fantastic.
I beat you. I somehow beat you. I can't believe it. Yeah. So I started. Yeah. It's been. What's that, 9-10 months?
Jeez.
It was a lot, but there was a lot of entries. I had 1,500 entries.
Wow.
It was a lot to get through.
Yeah, I guess that's crazy.
And I did all these reaction videos to them, and because I wanted to listen to them not by myself.
Yeah.
You know?
Fair enough. I hear you. Yeah, that's why I do the mixed review things. And it's like, one thing I'm noticing a lot of guys are doing are they're writing these epics that don't need to be epics. They're about twice as long as they need to be. And it's like, I hope you lay this out in the course that it's like, get to the fucking point.
I don't know. It's kind of a metal thing. I think metalheads have a longer attention span in general, and I think Metallica kind of laid that out, like longer tracks, epic intros, big song structure, and that can work really well
if you're Metallica.
But if you're Metallica, they're doing it right.
Exactly.
They're taking you on a journey, and they deliver the goods. Like they're building to something. There's a climax of the song. A lot of these like kind of local band epics, they just don't go anywhere because they're just tacking on new things every time. It's not developed. There's no development of a core idea and a climax and all this. It's just long.
All right, so why don't you show us a little bit about what this course is about? You've got a couple clips here for us. Why don't we roll something right now, Trey, and show us why somebody should be interested in picking this up?
Anytime the time feel drops like to halftime like this, I like to have what I like to call the slowdown fill. Something that just makes it feel like time is kind of slowing down a little bit. And that's just one that feels like we're moving a little bit slower before we actually hit that halftime groove. Usually, if there's some kind of a change happening, especially if you're actually changing the tempo, or if you're doing like a time signature change, or just a feel change, I like the fill that comes before the actual change hits to reflect what's coming. That's probably more than anything, the main thing you got to think about. If the fill doesn't sound like what's coming and instead sounds more like what's come before, you haven't prepared the audience at all. You haven't prepared the listener in any way. So it's not so much a transition as it will be just them hitting a brick wall, which sometimes is a cool effect. But let's just assume that we're trying to like really guide them through this listening experience. It's cool if you can really bridge those two things with something that feels a little bit like the thing that came before and then sort of transforms. It's kind of a big task.
All right, so that was transitions. Can you just give us, the summary of that? What are your thoughts about that? What were you trying to accomplish there?
Transitions is by far the most requested topic in songwriting that I've gotten. To me, it seems like kind of a weird thing to care so much about, but I figured out why sort of noob songwriters care so much about transitions. And it's because they're trying to take every riff they've ever written and put it into a song, and they're not related parts.
Okay.
They didn't write the song organically. They're just like putting together these riffs that they've come up with since they were 16 or whatever, because they need to write a song. And so transitioning from one to the other is everything. That being said, transitions can be easy and really natural sounding if you know what you're doing and the parts make sense together.
So you're gonna show people exactly, okay, you've got a couple of riffs, here's how to kind of get from one part to the next and not sound like you're just throwing a bunch of riffs at your song.
Yes.
Okay.
And
That's
a
cool.
couple different strategies for how to do it.
That's really cool. I mean, like, it's funny you talk about a collection of riffs. I mean, like Dave Gold from Woods of Ypres, he started out with a collection of riffs too, but the guy could actually, write really cool transitions and could take you on a journey because he had a singular vision for each song and there were choruses and all that. Even though this was black metal and not even traditional black metal at that, he was pushing the boundaries of what black metal could be. And that's why, 20 years later, people still listen to those records because the songs were fucking amazing. And even though the production wasn't all that great, and that's strictly my fault there.
I was going to say, isn't that your fault?
Yeah, that's absolutely my fault. But I will say this, though. The first record, especially Cold Winter Songs in the Dead Summer Heat, that was pretty much live off the floor. You know what I mean? It was just the guys surrounded by the drummer. And there was a vibe on that record. It was electric. It wasn't fucking perfect, but it sounded like a fucking band. You know what I mean?
Well, even you doing a terrible job is still better than 99% of black metal recordings. Right?
This is true. Yes, as far as black metal goes,
they did it in a studio. That was actually a studio.
Yeah, as far as black metal goes, that was ultra hi-fi. But and it's like, and the thing is, even with access to today's technology, I don't know if we would have done better. You know what I mean? It's like we might have had a technically better record, but I don't know if it would have had the same impact. So there's
character.
But like I said, the songwriting on those first two records was absolutely top notch though, and I'll still throw them on every now and then because they were memorable tracks. So that's transitioning. What else are we getting for our money here? You got another clip for us? What's this all about?
Yeah, it's about creating parts to transition to and from, and the inception of ideas.
Okay, let's roll that. Let's see what that's all about.
So right now, what I have are like eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and right. I just made 4 bars of them. If you like, you can also double it up, depending on how you're feeling, what your mood is. And then all we're gonna do is delete kicks at random. I'm just gonna pick some here and there. I'm gonna go in and cut some out with no apparent pattern of any kind. And then I'm gonna listen to how that sounds. So that's kind of cool, actually. What I came up with is not terrible. And then what we get, somewhere in there, I'm gonna hear something and go, oh, that's a thing. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Like that could be a hardcore breakdown. I don't know if that's cool or not, but let's listen back. So that's the most basic version of what I could do with that.
Okay, Trey, explain this to the audience. How is that different from the first part we were talking about?
Right, so in a transition, you're going from one part to the next. This is one way to generate inspiration for coming up with the parts to be transitioning to and from, actually generating musical ideas if you don't have any.
Okay.
You can become inspired by anything, just mostly more than anything else for me, it's just sitting and screwing around on my instrument or coming up with lyrics or something and going from there. But if you don't have an idea already, these are ways that you can sort of generate a little bit of inspiration out of nothingness.
Okay, cool. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so this is, like I said, this is a 15-hour course. I gotta say, that's crazy, man. I mean, like, the longest course I've ever done, I think, is maybe 5-6 hours, something like that. Like Total Heavy Guitar, I thought it was going to be this huge thing, and I only wound up being 4 hours. You know what I mean? So it's like 15 hours. So okay, that's a pretty serious amount of effort, obviously, went into that. So what's the price tag on this?
So the normal price is $497.
Holy
which seems like a lot.
Shit! Crom's balls, man! $497. Do you know what I can get for $497?
Your mom?
Yeah,
no, what
about
could you
3
get?
dinners at DoorDash.
Oh, okay. So a normal week for me.
Yeah, there you go.
Working on this course. I was like, I could cook for myself, or I could keep editing.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So $4.97. Okay, but we've got an introductory rate on this thing because you're not that greedy of a bastard. What is it, like end of year sale? What's the deal here, man?
I'll cook for myself for a few days so that the people can get it for about half off at $250 until the end of the year.
$250 until end of night, December 31st, right?
Yeah. So after the countdown, it goes back up to the regular price.
That's still a pretty hefty price tag there, Trey. So, but you are getting 15 hours. I can see some value in that, absolutely. Now, the fact that it's actually going to help somebody out there learn how to write songs, I think that's something that is desperately needed by oh so many of you guys. I mean, like, just from what I've been hearing on my Monday morning show, I've been hearing some interesting mixes, but once again, a great mix isn't going to make a song interesting if it just goes on and on and on and on and on endlessly and never fucking goes anywhere. It's like a few of them I've had to be like, okay, we've heard the mix, we know what's going to happen. You're going to repeat this over and over and over again, and the song's not going anywhere. There's nothing to keep us spellbound there. So is that what you're showing people? Are you showing them how to, create something like that?
Yeah, how to keep the interest up throughout the whole song, kind of in the same way a screenwriter does and a director with a movie or a TV show, A lot of the local band problem is that they're introducing all of these new characters all the time and we never find out what happens to them. And that's the riff salad problem, because you start off with this riff, you get to the end of the song, and you're like, why was that first riff there?
Right.
And nobody, you're not generating buy-in for the audience of these musical characters. And I'm going to show you how to do that much more so and take your audience the whole way through the song and give them a huge payoff at the end.
All right, so we got one more clip here. Take us through this. Trey, what are we going to see?
Sure. So another major problem, something that people wanted me to address a lot, and I realized that it's something that I never have a problem with, and I was trying to figure out why, and I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and that's writer's block.
Okay.
So in this, I talk about why I never get it and why you shouldn't have to either.
Right on. Now, that's something I could probably use because I got to admit, when I'm writing riffs and whatnot, it's pretty all standard, based off the same kind of ideas thing. And it's very stagnant for me. And and again, it's like verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. So it's like, this sounds like a course I probably really need to take as well and just maybe get some new ideas flowing.
Not to be all Tony Robbins, but the reason that I never ever get writer's block isn't because I'm an amazing writer. It's kind of the opposite, actually. It's because I've accepted that all of the things that I write are not going to be good. And when I'm making something, when I'm coming up with ideas, when I'm generating parts for a song, I don't worry about whether or not it's going to be any good. I am willing to create garbage. I'm willing to create something that sucks really badly, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the thing that I make, the next thing that I make, is bad. It's about the things that are going to come after that. Those are the ones that could be good. Somewhere down the line, I'm going to come up with an idea that doesn't suck. And so I don't ever stop and think when I'm generating ideas whether or not it's good or if it's shit. So I encourage you to really, really let go of that judgment in the moment of creation.
Now, what exactly are they getting? Are there like, in this course, is there like something that follows along and keeps you updated at where you are in the course and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Does it have like a meter about how far along you are in the course? Are there Q&As for all the chapters and stuff? All right. Well, hey, everybody, that's Trey Xavier and the course Complete Rock and Metal Songwriting. We just had Christmas, so why don't you guys take some of your Christmas money and go get yourself a copy of this, because you need this way more than you need yet another amp sim. This is something that's really going to help you. If you want to improve your songwriting skills, especially when it comes to rock and metal, this is the course to get. I'll have some links in the description below. The sale is going to end of evening, December 31st. Then it goes back up to like $4.97 a copy. So get it while you can. Trey, thanks so much for being on the show. It's always a pleasure. And until next time, get out there and make some metal, you amazing motherfuckers.